Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Sabah el khair. Right. Welcome to day 3. Hey, dancers, do you mind coming back real quick? Yeah, help me out with something. We all thought it would be fun if everybody tried a little bit of martial arts movement today. Not like flips and crazy things like these guys were doing, but a little bit of moving meditation. Something to help reset our nervous systems, using our breath as a tool to get us out of stress, fight or flight mode, and into a more focused flow state where creativity and intuition thrive. How does that sound? Okay, great. So I'm going to ask you to stand if you are able. Yeah, we got this. Okay. We weren't sure participation was going to happen or not, but look at you all. Ready for the morning. And we are ready, yes? Okay, great. So just take a nice steady stance, slight bend in the knees, and all you're going to do is follow me, syncing our breath to our movement. Ready? And inhaling through the nose. And exhale. Again, inhale. Fill up those lungs. Exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Now in and out, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. How's it feeling? Inhale, fill up the belly. Exhale, let it go. I'm going to teach you an 8-step kata, okay? A series of movements that you can take with you into the future to help you down-regulate the nervous system. Ready? Don't worry if you don't get them right, just continue the breath. Ready? And 1, inhale. 2, exhale. 3, inhale, gather. 4, exhale. We begin from the beginning, 1 through 4. Ready? And inhale, 1. 2, exhale. 3, inhale. 4, exhale. 5, inhale up. 6, circle, watch your partner. Good. 1 through 6 from the top. Ready? And 1, inhale. 2, exhale. 3, inhale, gather. 4, exhale, release. 5, inhale up. 6, exhale. You all look so beautiful. 7, inhale up. And 8, exhale down. 1 through 8. Ready? And inhale. 2, exhale. 3, inhale. 4, exhale. 5, inhale. 6, exhale. 7, inhale. 8, exhale. Last time. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let that stress go. Fall away. 7, inhale up. And 8, last one, exhale down. Good. Start to feel steady and grounded. Shake it out. Now take your hands together. Rub them together. Feel your energy. Feel it just vibrating from your body. Now, give yourselves a round of applause. Amazing. You did so great. And 1 for our dancers. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing. You are dismissed. Wow. What a beautiful group. TOURISE has been all about the future of tourism. And yet, it's important to remember some of the ancient wisdom that's been passed down from masters, mystics, sages, and sensei. They all held the secret to staying calm and confident, relaxed and ready under the most stressful circumstance. That's the aim of the black belt mindset. But in order to give you a little bit more context of where I got started with this, I'm going to have to take you back in time. Ready? The year is 2004. I was living in New York City, and everyone around me was obsessed with the TV show Friends the first time around. But to be honest, all of that pop culture was lost on me, because besides the hours that I was at the gym training my clients in fitness, I was at the dojo preparing for my upcoming black belt test. After about a year of preparation, it finally took place at this secret location, and it started in the middle of the night. It was really, really hard, kind of like Fight Club, but we don't talk about Fight Club, right? Anyway, if you pass that secret test, then you're officially invited to the black belt ceremony, where you will graduate to black belt level and receive the coveted black belt itself. So here I am, surrounded by friends, family, and fellow martial artists. After a couple hours of demonstrating a full curriculum, it's now time for the finale. So I find myself staring down at these wooden boards propped up between two cinder blocks. My fellow martial artist then lights them on fire. I'm suddenly mesmerized by the flames. And in this moment, I need to draw strength from my dedication to my martial art. Every day that I chose to show up to the dojo and practice my skills, every bead of sweat that poured from my body, and every tear that I shed from both mental and physical injuries over the last 4 years is now culminating in this final act, the fire break. I wait for my sensei's countdown as I begin to sync my breath to my movement. I know that breaking through these boards has nothing to do with my physical strength and everything to do with my mental, emotional, and spiritual strength, mixed with a touch of technique. But now I'm hearing the voices of fear as they warn me that this fire is dangerous. You'll light yourself on fire. Every shred of self-doubt from my past is now rearing its ugly head, telling me that I cannot and should not do this thing. And yet I know deep inside that everything I have ever wanted to be, do, and have in this lifetime is on the other side of this breakthrough. I know that the fire just represents challenges and obstacles that will continue to test me in my future. But in this moment, I have a choice to make. Do I let the fires stop me, or do I break through in order to elevate to the next level? That question has come up for me many, many times since that day. And I bet it has for you too. Do you let the fires in life or business stop you? Or will you break through them in order to elevate to your next level? I became so obsessed with this question that for the last 2 decades, I've studied both ancient wisdom and high-performance coaching from modern science to create a framework to help you do just that. I use martial arts as a metaphor because in martial arts, we all show up to the dojo as white belts, pure beginners. We tie the belt around our waist, step onto the mat, and get to work. We start to learn life-saving skills, and we drill them over and over and over again. We wax on, we wax off, and slowly through the years, we move up from one belt level to the next, from white to yellow, orange, green, blue, red, with the goal of black belt and beyond. But before you move from one belt level to the next, you usually have to pass a very difficult test. A test not just of your physical skills, but of your mental, emotional, and spiritual skills. Isn't that a bit like life? You're cruising along, climbing those ladders of success, and before you know it, life hits you with a really difficult test. In business, mistakes, failures, uncertainty, and stress. In life, loss, grief, heartache, or health scares. My friends, this framework will help you build the inner strength it takes to get back up no matter what the takedown. So I invite you into our dojo. Connect your mind, body, and spirit, and let's get to work. Because the lesson of the white belt is to embrace the suck. I know, a very American way of saying to consciously accept, maybe even appreciate something that is extremely unpleasant yet unavoidable in order to move forward. Life is not one long, smooth ride, as we know. Things that are difficult, hard, challenging are going to happen, and the sooner that we can accept that as fact, the sooner we can move on to creating the life, the business, the industry of our dreams. But you're going to have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Being a white belt in martial arts was not comfortable. The scratchy uniforms, the sore muscles I didn't even know I had, the protocols you have to learn, then being up against opponents twice my size, not fun at first. But I knew that if I kept showing up and doing the work, that eventually it would get easier. And over time, things started happening. Physically, my body's getting stronger. Mentally, I'm starting to feel more confident, more self-aware. And spiritually, I'm starting to feel more grounded and more on purpose than ever before. So I kept showing up. And I started to ask myself powerful questions like, how can I help other people feel more strong, safe, and powerful from the streets to the boardroom and from the inside out? And the answers to those questions led me on a wild journey. Quite literally shaped my career and the person that I am. There's been many, many highs and plenty of low lows. But looking back, I know one thing for certain, that somehow, even the most challenging of times have led me to become the person I am today, standing on this stage in Riyadh with all of you. Oh, thank you. You see, the lesson of the white belt is to reframe how we see the fires in our lives, to honor that they were there to teach you something, to develop your secret weapons like patience, perseverance, grit, or grace. So, when's the last time you took a look back in your past and gave yourself a moment to reflect, to honor your unique journey, to somehow realize that all of your challenges have led you to become the person you are today? Perhaps you can accept them, maybe even appreciate them for all of the strength you've developed because of them and not in spite of them. I invite you to do that right now. Just from your seat. In martial arts, we like to bow for honor, so you bow to yourself, just like this. Yeah, and give yourself that honor, respect. And now turn to someone and say, I embrace the suck. All right. We move on to the lesson of the orange belt, which is about blocking. At orange belt level, martial artists start to realize that if you don't block all of the incoming kicks and punches, that you're going to spend way more time on the ground than necessary. So we learn and we drill our blocking techniques. On the mat, these blocking techniques are about physical self-defense. Wax on, wax off. In life, these are about mental, emotional, and spiritual self-defense techniques. These blocking techniques help you set powerful boundaries with people, places, and things that drain you of your power or distract you from your purpose, your goals, your dreams, your vision. Is there anything in your life right now that needs some blocking? Maybe it's shutting down your own negative thoughts or self-sabotaging behaviors. Or maybe it's saying no to other people, places, and things in order to say yes to your priorities. Sound good? Let's practice. I'm getting you out of your comfort zone, yes? Okay. So we like to embody things in martial art just to get it into our minds and bodies. I'm going to have you from your seat, right? Left hand up like this. This is our hard block. Now I want you to think of one thing in your life, one thing that needs some blocking, minimizing, decreasing. For me, it's scrolling on my phone, okay? So when I get that urge, I need to block myself, yeah? So think of one thing, person, place, or thing. Ready? And left hand up. Now right, left, right. Now put a little noise or a little exhale on it. Left, right, left, right. Very good, you did it. Thank you, thank you. The more you practice your blocking skills, I promise you, even physically, the easier it will become to do it mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now, I'm going to test you again. Turn to someone next to you and say, I set powerful boundaries. Yes, you do. Okay, good. We're getting better. I'm warming you up. Yeah. Okay, good. So at green belt level, we start to learn to harness the power of our voice. Martial artists use a vocal technique called a key-up, which translates to spirited yell. It's used to accentuate every punch and every kick, possibly to ward off an opponent. You get to choose your style of key-up. Some people use the word key-up. Some use hi-ya. It doesn't matter what sound you choose. What matters is how you deliver it. And that's the lesson of the green belt, to be able to harness the power of your communication style. We communicate through body language, through the tone we use, and through our words. Words matter. Words can be wands to create your future, and words can be weapons, especially the words that we say to ourselves. And there's no better dojo ancient wisdom than this quote: watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. And watch your character, it eventually becomes your destiny. If you want to elevate to your next level, you will have to become a master of your mind. Start to recognize the negative thought patterns that get stuck on repeat. Interrupt them with a powerful key-up. And then replace them with new, empowering thoughts, words, actions that will eventually shape your destiny. And we can do that through things like affirmations. Ready to get really uncomfortable? I'm going to ask you to repeat after me, and let's practice just speaking to ourselves in a more affirmative way, yes? Yeah, let's try. So, sit up tall. Take a nice deep breath. And repeat after me. I am calm. I am confident. I am relaxed. I am ready to serve, to lead, to rise. Yes. And on 3, one powerful key up. 1, 2, 3, key up. Very good. All right, we're graduating to blue belt level. Here we are. At blue belt level, we start to become aware of our chi. Chi is the word to describe our life force energy, the energy that keeps us alive and vibrant. We begin to feel it in our movements, and we know when our tanks are running low. Blue belt level is all about energy management. And energy management is essential, especially if you want to elevate to your next level of leadership without burning out. Burnout is becoming the norm, not the exception. In many countries, I'm looking at you, America, across many industries, people are running on fumes and calling it success. But we all know it's not sustainable. Burnout happens when our level of output far exceeds the level of self-care that our minds and bodies need to succeed. So, is it time for an energy audit of your life? To get really clear on what's draining your energy, the foods, the people, the media, the habits that deplete us, and to figure out what you really need more of to restore that energy and bring you back into balance. Is it more rest, more sleep, more play, more deep, soulful connections? As the sensei always said, you can't pour from an empty cup. So if you want to elevate to that next level, you're going to have to fill your cup every single day, ideally, before you start scrolling headlines, answering emails, or putting out other fires. And when you do that, I promise you that you will show up a better leader at work and at home. Okay. I love that you're now doing what I'm doing. Thank you. We are now at the level of the black belt, friends. So when I was coming up through the ranks, I used to imagine what it would be like to be a black belt. I thought it would be about, executing my sword forms with precision or being able to take someone down twice my size. But it wasn't about really mastering the techniques. As I started rising up through the ranks, I realized that it was more about being a leader, someone who helps other people to rise up through the ranks as well. Back then, I didn't feel like much of a leader. I was running around the city in my Lululemon pants and training my clients and struggling to pay my New York City rent. But as I got closer to my black belt level, I started to expand my idea of leadership. I realized that leadership is not reserved for certain people. It's for anyone who chooses to step into it. At black belt level, we start to find purpose in that choice. No matter what was happening in the world or in my personal life, when I showed up to that mat and poured into my students, all the external noise faded away. I felt more grounded and more on purpose than ever before. And now I get to coach leaders to reconnect to their purpose. And I can't think of a better industry that embodies this more naturally than tourism. Because at its heart, tourism exists to move people. Yes, physically move them around the world, but to move them. To spark awe, wonder, awakening. People travel to heal, to grow, to get lost and find themselves again. Travel changes people. And when they return home feeling refreshed and renewed, that ripple effect spreads out far beyond what you can possibly imagine. It starts to elevate the frequency and vibration of this great planet. You do that. You are part of that, whether you see your end user or not. Friends, tourism is that important. So I urge you, the next time you see a fire in your life, to reconnect to your purpose. Now, friends, will you take the rest of this black belt mindset with you into day 3 and beyond. Yes? So you can start to embrace the hard times, set powerful boundaries, use key-ups for those negative thoughts, and start to use affirmations to create and speak into your future. Will you take an energy audit and plug up those energetic holes in your life? And will you help others rise up through the ranks as well? If you're with me, can I get a key up? Okay, first though, I'm gonna ask you to stand one more time. Come on, let's do it. Let's finish strong. Now, you're gonna picture it. You're gonna be breaking through your flaming board, okay? So on 3, you're gonna go 1, 2. On 3, you yell your key up, okay? But visualize whatever is holding you back, any limiting beliefs, anything getting in your way. We are breaking through these fires once and for all and stepping into the future with more power and protecting our peace. Yes? Ready? And 1, 2, 3.